Dear readers, if you could only do one thing in your life before you die, make sure you check out Floppy Comics.
Hi, this is Colin.
And I'm Taylor with Floppy Comics.
And we're at Phoenix Comicon 2010. Let's head on in.
It was a big deal. I mean, I was very influenced by him. I was introduced to him by my father, who was a huge fan of his. And right now, I mean, it's hard, you know. He's one of the main inspirations for me to draw. So now he's gone, but I was lucky. I was honored to have worked with him. So it's a good thing.
On your projects you're working on right now, who's your favorite character?
Probably Eddie right here.
Eddie?
Yeah.
Tell me about Eddie.
Okay. He's from our book 68. We did a one-shot, and right now the whole crew from the original book's coming back together. We're going to be doing another mini-series. And Eddie right here, he died in the first issue, the first one-shot, and came back as a zombie, and we brought Eddie to the show to commemorate the release and, you know, to promote the coming books. So
what are your current projects?
68 would be the big one.
68
Beginning of the next year, we're going to be coming out with that new mini-series. And I'm also got some projects in the works. I'm doing some film work, and I'm doing some things with Steve Niles right now. So,
oh, cool. What kind of film work?
Right now, I'm doing some work on a film produced by Guillermo del Toro called The Captured Bird, written by and directed by Ivanka Vukovic. And also, I'm working with the new Rutger Hauer film, Hobo with a Shotgun.
What advice would you give to anybody who's trying to break into the industry right now?
To fight really hard. The economy's down right now, and I think the biggest thing is just not give up. Just keep at it, keep producing work, and getting it out of there in front of people. And you know, as long as you never give up, sooner or later you're going to find that break.
Who's your favorite to draw?
Wow.
You got to pick just one favorite.
It's a style. It ain't just a character. Okay. So I do like to draw like the baby style, like this type of stuff.
Okay.
Because it's fun, you know what I mean? I can emote with it. It's cute. It's people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But that's my favorite style to work in, I guess, because it's quick and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it emotes.
Do you have a DeviantArt site or anything like
JJ
that?
Kirby on the DeviantArt. One word. So yeah.
Okay, JJ Kirby. So what's the next book you got coming out? What are we gonna look for?
The newest thing I have coming out is issue number 9 of The Authority, The Lost Years. And me and Michael Lopez, good friend of mine, talented artist, collaborated on that. We laid it out. I did the finishes with the pen and inks, and it really was fun, really good. And that's the next thing I have coming out. Besides Comic-Con coming up, I'm working on pinups, sketchbooks, just website, trying to get it out there. And when the website is up, it'll be jollyboysessions.com. We're trying to celebrate the spirit of collaboration and have fun with it, for real. You know? Thank you.
Hey, look, it's Osimo. Osimo, can I get a high five? You having fun at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
So is this all real metal, all handcrafted?
Yep.
Mind if I...
Go ahead.
Nice. Wow, that's really thick. Is it really heavy? Oh my gosh,
There you
that
go.
is really, really heavy. Oh my gosh. Think you could convince you to put it on your head?
Sure.
All right.
Howard Noble is the original armor that taught me all this.
Wow. That is awesome. Very cool.
They sat there and I go, what? They go, you want to be an artistic whore. I remember having this conversation. I go, what? They go, do you know what a whore does? And I go, yeah. Somebody comes in, they put money on the table, and they tell that person what to do, and they'll do it for the money. You know what an illustrator does? They come in, they go, we need to do a Michelin ad and we'll pay you $50 and you'll just do it with no integrity. And you were just an artistic whore. So I went, okay, I'm a prostitute. That's cool, right? Sort of an odd thing to tell your mom and dad when you come home. But I had dozens and dozens of these arguments with people. I'll give you another example because I know we're running, but I'm going to give you an example. I was with my buddy who was in the art class with one of the artiste teachers, and he would always give us heck and go, your stuff isn't rich enough, and it doesn't have enough oomph for it. And this was like some French guy. He's like, no, that just all sucks. And you just go, okay, fine. And he sat there and we did our final exam when I was a senior, and it was me and my buddy, and we came down and we had to lay down our big final piece of artwork, and we laid it down on the ground, and the teacher was with my buddy, and he's standing there looking at it, and he's going, Billy, oh my God, because he thought me and Billy were whores. So he's going, oh my God, Billy, finally, my boy, finally. You got it. The richness is here. It's all there. And he was just about ready to give him a big mark. And I had been, when he was talking to him the whole time, I was like going. And at the end of the conversation, I went, hey, teacher, aren't you looking at it upside down? He comes around the other side. It was a woman on a bike in a street in Paris. You got a D. And my friend didn't never forgive me. He goes, Todd, I was that close to an A. Because when it was upside down, it made sense to him because it looked like nothing. And that was the history. So I just sent off my samples at midnight, and eventually a week before I graduated college, I got my first job. Never had to really look for a real job, if you will, and that's sort of how we got. And we've been fortunate enough through you good people in this room and through literally millions of others supporting us and putting food on our table. So before we go, we would like to tip our hat and thank you good people for supporting us over the years.
Okay. What's it like working with Robert Kirkman on
Robert Kirkman might be the biggest ego I've ever dealt with, next to mine. So we become peers at that point. I get a kick out of Robert Kirkman, and here's why. Number one, he's a writer, so I get to like jab him, and he drives me back as a writer to an artist. And number two, he's sort of like my brother, and I got two brothers, and I was very good at instigating. So I make fun of him and I joke with him, and he takes me serious way more times than he should. Oh. So he actually thinks that I'm being serious when I send him an email where I'm just poking fun at him. So it's easy to give him like a sort of a bleeding ulcer and diarrhea from about like 10 states over. He lives in Kentucky. So, but my family's from there. Oh yeah, I love him. He's sort of too easy to get to. Sometimes not even fun to bug him because he's like, Todd, why do you say that? I thought you liked me. I go, Robert. It was a joke. It was just a joke. Trying to get around. It was just go. So but I also here's what I like about Robert more than anything else. He's really one of the most passionate comic book creators that I've ever dealt with. And the reason he gets so wound up sometimes is because he just cares about his comic books more than anybody else that I know. I mean, Eric Larson, one of the other partners at Image, is the same from an art point of view. But those two guys, I'm sort of jealous of how myopic they are with their love for comic books. So he's fantastic.
Also, one more quick question. I know you're a huge fan of baseball.
Sure.
Who is your favorite team right now?
What are you talking about? The Diamondbacks. We live here, the Diamondbacks.
Good, high five.
You always root for the home team, even when they're not doing so good with the one hitter and the two hitter the last 2 days. So, yeah. But you know what? You just like a Cubs fan, you got to sort of support them and stay behind them, right? We like the Suns, we like the Coyotes, we like the Cardinals, and we like the Diamondbacks. Those are my four favorite teams in my four sports. So. And everybody else is sort of a distant second.